Great good morning, everyone. It is a lovely Wednesday. What's our date today? February 25th? Yes, it is. Year of our Lord 20 and 26. My Cordaro jeweler watch tells me it's 9/11 and change. This is the Bob Cordaro Show. I am he. Broadcasting today from the United States of America, the place where the brave, like the many veterans we salute today, thanks to John Basiliga and his great Basiliga hospitality group, like John Richards of Kingston, Joseph Gorman, late of New York, but he was from Carbondale, John Rock of Clark Summit, Robert Jones of Hazleton, James Labenberg of Union Township, Donald Pachorka of Scranton, Jacob Dildeen, Joseph Myers, Richard Hartman, late of Virginia, but he was from Berwick, Jack Blosky, Telford, John Zimmerman, Fishing Creek Township, Orangeville, and Ollie Bowman, Berwick. The United States of America, the country founded with a certain knowledge and understanding by our incredible, amazing, irreplaceable founding fathers, that government is not, shall not be, cannot be our parent, our guide, our salvation, our direction. Not any of these things, but is nothing more than a necessary evil we require to organize and protect society. The United States of America, the country where, for the first time in human history, freedom was declared to be an unalienable right granted to each individual by God. It couldn't be parceled out to groups. It couldn't be controlled by government or government officials because our great American Constitution ensures and codifies freedom of speech, freedom of religion, freedom of association, economic freedom, and freedom of the press. Now, armed with these freedoms, and only because we had them, a ragtag bunch of immigrants, rejects, and their progeny created the richest, most powerful, most culturally diverse and accepting nation ever to grace our planet Earth. America, the only place specifically invented and designed so that every American can live their life in the manner they choose, unlimited by their background, upbringing, race, color, or creed, unhindered by the government or those who would use government to control others for their own comfort, benefit, or power. This Bob Cordaro Show, well, it'll always be convincingly conservative, lovingly logical, proudly and passionately patriotic, and reliably right. And yes, the double entendre is fully intended. And so, we gavel to order this meeting of the Club for Common Sense, today's meeting, promising you that we are so committed to common sense that we will provide a sanctuary of sanity for all of you in a world where an entire major political party, the Democrats, has gone insane. And there are millions of people following them, and we don't get it. They're triggered by the Pledge of Allegiance. They're triggered by the national anthem. They're triggered by the chants of USA. Absolutely astonishing to me. So I went, we had Cuckoo Tuesday, and it's just myself and a couple of my sons, and then the judges, the Meads, and a bunch of other people that had stopped by. But it's called Cuckoo Tuesday because we all recognize that we're all a little goofy. And so it happened to fall on my birthday. Birthday was on a Tuesday. So we were at Clark's hanging out and had a great, great time. And I came home late for the State of the Union because Cutie came and other good friends of ours, and our friend Charlie, my brother Ron came, Joy, and so it extended into the beginning of the State of the Union. Well, I mean, I knew I wasn't going to miss much. I mean, I extol Trump's policy virtues every day. So I know what he's going to tout. And he did. He got to everything. And I've got to tell you, it was not nearly as exhausting as I thought it would be. What was exhausting, despite its brevity, was the response of this idiot governor of Virginia. I just listened to her, and I'm like, she's just lying. She's talking about the affordability. Bulldog, he's a bulldog. He doesn't have opposable thumbs. These things happen. But I'm listening to the Democrats, and this Democrat in particular, talk about affordability. And her Democrat-controlled legislature of Virginia has proposed about 20 taxes, what we've talked to you about before, that are going to reduce affordability. And that's on top of the Green New Deal insanity that she's all in on when she was in Congress. I'm thinking, how stupid do they think people are? I don't get it. Are people that stupid? The affordability crisis. Well, who caused it? I lived it. I mean, I don't. Gas prices, utility prices, all of these things. And is Trump going to get the blame because he didn't put all of the genies back in the bottles that the Democrats unleashed on us? I've said this, if you're going to run as a Democrat in today's day, you have to be a liar and a hypocrite. Is it conceivable that they didn't understand the cause and effect of the rampant inflation and cost explosion that resulted from the Biden and Democrat policies? And they're going to blame it on Trump? When the rate of inflation is reduced? I don't know. I continue to be astonished. I do, and I'm thinking, boy, are the memories that short? And then I think of the Israelis after they were led out of slavery in Egypt, continually forgetting what God had done for them, and continually turning on the religion that was their only hope. And I said, well, human nature's human nature. And so you're going to blame Trump, or you're going to blame the Republicans, or you're going to blame his policies and this lie about the tariffs, when the rate of inflation has been reduced since the Trump tariffs. And she blatantly said that the tariffs are costing everybody $1,700. This is insane. This is the new talking point. As somebody texts in, Democrat Party never said a word when gas and energy prices skyrocketed, along with rents, mortgages, food, housing. Oh, well, nothing's going to happen if you spend $3 trillion more than you're taking in. Oh, nothing's going to happen when you hamper energy production. Nothing's going to happen when you let 20 million people into the country who are now scrambling for housing. Nothing. It's insane. They complain. Somebody's texting in, and it's true. They ignore the last 4 years under scumbag. Never said a word about affordability then. Tom from Dallas joining in on the thought. It's insane. And they just say it. They say it like Trump caused it. I don't know. I don't know how you could look at yourself when you're blatantly lying like that. I guess you have to be so stupid that you believe it in some fashion. But how could you be that dumb? Seriously. I don't know. It's frightening. And I can understand not liking Donald Trump. I get angry at him all the time. But that's not the point. Like, reality is reality. Facts are facts. Truth is truth. Cause and effect exists. And they pretend it didn't happen. Like the Biden administration, like, I know they want to forget it. It was a catastrophe. I know they want to forget Kamala Harris. But then you look at their leading candidates, they're the dumbest group of people maybe on the planet. Kamala Harris, the latest CNN poll, I don't know if she was 18%. I mean, dumb as a box of rocks. As shallow as the little puddle in front of my house. Gavin Newsom, he's a complete sociopath. He's sociopath. He's insane. I'm wondering, I was thinking about this the other day. Is he the Antichrist? Could he be? Buttigieg. Yeah, the guy who went on leave when we had massive supply chain issues. The guy who spent $91 billion instead of revamping the air traffic control system that it had to be done, he spent it on DEI nonsense. Pretended to drive to work on the bike. They caught him on camera taking the bike out of the back of the car a block away. These are insane people. AOC is up there as well. She may be the dumbest of all of them. These are their candidates? It's insane. Wow. I don't know. It's scary. We're in a scary place, the American society. When people are being triggered, when people are violently protecting pedophiles who are here illegally, people who are killing people on trucks because they can't read signs, people who are committing rapes and murder, we're defending them with their lives. We've never had, I can't imagine, we've never had this kind of complete delusionment. But we have it. And they fight about it. They're actually proud of their delusions. Oh, I protected the illegal alien, my neighbor. The neighbor who might slit your throat. Wow. It's unbelievable. They hate the country and they're representing it. All right. But anyway, State of the Union, too long, quite obviously, but he's got a lot to tout. And it's all being ignored by the mainstream media and by the left-wing lunatics. It's all being lied about by the Democrat Party. So is he a bit defensive? Of course. But I understand. Again, didn't get exhausted. I thought he was funny. Calling out the Democrats for not standing for that mother whose child was sliced open on the subway in Charlotte by a cashless bail monster, as Trump called him, and they didn't stand. All right. we'll take this break. Bob Cordaro, WILK. Lots to talk about today. I hope you have some things to talk about. 570-883-0098. Let's do it. our veterans tribute this hour and every hour, this day and every day. Brought to you by friend of the vets, Patriot John Basiliga. Today, because it's already Wednesday, we feature Basiliga Hospitality Group. And it's amazing restaurants, bars, like bar restaurants such as the Old Brook Inn, 307 Springbrook Township, Far Street Tavern, the reimagined neighborhood tradition in the Trips Park section of West Scranton, the Queen City Tavern, downtown Oliphant. 3 amazing places. You will love them. They're beautiful. The food, the service, the package is great. Fine dining, my favorites. The Terra 519, downtown Scranton. They have a great happy hour. And it's one of the most beautiful restaurants you'll ever see. The Stegmaier Mansion, likewise, only in an old school fashion at the Mary Stegmaier Mansion, downtown Wilkes-Barre. Donald Pachorka, Scranton. He was 76. We lost him January 21st. Born in that city, graduate of the great Scranton Technical High School, class of 1966. He enlisted in the U.S. Army after graduation and served from 66 to 69 during the Vietnam War. Survived by his son, Michael. James Labenberg, longtime resident of Union Township. He was 91 when he passed on February 5th. He was a U.S. Army veteran. Robert Jones, 80 years old when he died on January 19th. He was from Hazleton, born in that city. He served us in the U.S. Army Reserves. Loved golf, skiing, shooting. Had operated his own plumbing business. Survived by his loving wife, Christine. Sisters and other family members. Robert Jones. John Richards, Kingston. He died January 6th, struck by a car while crossing Wyoming Avenue in Kingston. Buried Chapel Lawn Memorial Park in Dallas. John Richards. Joseph Gorman. He lived in Maine, New York. He was 73 when he died January 19th, formerly of Carbondale. He died on that day after a short battle with cancer. He served us in the United States Air Force. John Rock, Clark Summit. He was 86 when he passed January 27th. His wife, Carol, passed away in 2005. John was born in Scranton. Graduate of St. Paul's High School. He was a United States Army veteran. Prior to retirement, he was the head of maintenance at the Country Club of Scranton. John was an avid model train enthusiast, loved bowling and putting together intricate model puzzles. His son John and daughter Cheryl survive, as well as grandchildren and his longtime friend Judy Brown, preceded in death tragically by sons Patrick and James. John Rock. Our great veterans this hour, brought to you by John Basiliga and the great Basiliga Hospitality Group. Storm Tracker 16 forecast from meteorologist Joe Snedeker, brought to you by our great friends at Montage Mountain. This is the week, guys. You got to go. And we're still in the middle of their $49 deal, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. The conditions are great. The weather's great. Get up to Montage. You're going to love it. You'll be amazed. It's a transporting experience. Today, snow showers tapering off by mid-morning, then partly sunny, high near 40 degrees, 31 outside the studios as I speak. Tonight, cloudy skies, low 27. Thursday, partly sunny, 36. Friday, partly sunny, 42. And that's as far as Snedeker's going to take us. So our friends at Montage say, okay, we'll take what Snedeker gives us, and we'll just deliver fun in the winter at Montage Mountain Resort. Yes, it does, baby. It feels great. And Tina Morocco is here. She's a global sales advisor at Sotheby's, 5th Avenue, Naples, Florida, but she's the gateway to all of Florida. And she focuses on Southwest Florida, and she's with us now. Tina, how are you today?
I'm doing really well, Bob. How are you?
I just get hepped up every time I hear your theme song. I'm so happy you picked that.
I am too. It fits it perfectly.
Well, tell us what's happening in Southwest Florida. What do you got for us today?
So today I'm doing something a little bit different. I have a listing, an ultra luxury listing at a high-rise tower in North Naples on the water. And sometimes to promote these listings, I do TV segments. So I'm getting ready to do a TV segment on Fox 4, our local news channel. It's called Out and About. To promote this listing. So I'm getting ready to be on TV.
All right. Okay. I know I can't afford it, but that doesn't mean I can't love it and be interested. Tell us about this. Tell us about this ultra luxury unit.
Ultra luxury. So it's a condo high rise building. There's 23 floors in this building. It's called Kalia Bay. It overlooks the bay, the view wraps around to North Naples. So you're kind of looking at the Ritz-Carlton area, but it's beautiful preserved. So you can see the boats coming out of Wiggins Bay out to the Gulf. You can see kayakers. The birds are flying all around. The mangroves are there. The listing I have is on the 8th floor. So you're really getting you're halfway up the building, and so you're really getting a good view of everything, and the lights sparkling at night from the city, but also the preserve that's so kind of pristine and calming.
Now, is that at enough of a height where there are no insects?
Yeah, there's not really any no-see-ums or mosquitoes or anything out there on the 8th floor, so that's good. But this one's about 3,300 square feet, 4 bedrooms, 4 bathrooms. But the nice part about Kalia Bay, it's really like a resort. So on property, there's restaurants, tennis, pickleball, bocce. On the rooftop of these buildings, there's a rooftop pool deck. So it overlooks everything. So a lot of people go up there for sunset. It's just such a magical place.
And how magical is the price?
Well, we're under $4.5 million.
Well, I mean, there's some people in the market for that. I mean,
exactly. Yeah, exactly. And if you're looking for a luxury, this is like an ultra luxury lifestyle here. It's pretty much everything you need. Like, this is guard gated, high security, lobby is secure. There's all kinds of artwork in the lobby. It's just a different way of life here. And a lot of the people that live here, are still working. So they fly in and out. There's conference rooms here. There's board rooms. So they can conduct business here just as easily as they can, up north in New York or Pennsylvania, New Jersey. So back and forth. It's really something here.
All right. So by the way, you've told me this. You don't get any more enjoyment. You get more money, obviously, if you sell a $4.5 million. This versus some kind of house that I could afford, you get the same pleasure out of placing someone in a modest property as well.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, it's all about finding the right fit for the person, and when people start looking, they get so excited to look in Florida, whether it be moving here full time or just being a snowbird. And a lot of times it's the snowbirds that are just so excited, because they've reached the chapter where this is all about what they can do for fun. And so, yeah, it's a lot of fun to help people at all price points here. And it keeps things interesting, too.
Yeah, how neat. Well, thank you so much, Tina. Believe me, we can aspire. On this show, we're true Americans. We can aspire to that luxury.
Yeah, I post these videos on social media of these places. If you ever want to aspire and fantasize, the videos are on my Facebook, my Instagram, TikTok. So if you want to check out what the views look like or how incredible these places are, just check it out on one of my social media sites.
We can dream, and then we could buy a place we could actually afford in Florida through Tina Morocco, right?
So all price points for all different people.
You give us both. TinaMorocco.com, She's your
Uh-huh.
gateway to Southwest Florida and beyond. Thank you,
Yes.
Tina.
Thank you,
Love
Bob.
it.
All
Love
right.
it.
Take care.
All right. We'll take a break. Bob Cordaro, WILK, and then we'll be back to talk to some people on the phone. How about that? Well, Murph came up with the concept. Bulldog is trying to take credit for it, too, as well as Mr. Paul, our executive producer. The playlist for February 25th is all George Harrison because he was born February 25th, 1943. Murph says he was known as the Quiet Beatle. He was a solo artist as well as a member of the Traveling Wilburys. Born Liverpool, Merseyside, England. This date, that year. We start off with the Beatles, While My Guitar Gently Weeps. And it's going to be all George Harrison today, which I love. I said, I'm in. Count me in. Bunch of texts I want to get to regarding the State of the Union, but let's talk to our friend Walter Griffith, because that's not all that happened last night. He was at the county council meeting. Talk to me, my man.
Hey, LTS to you, Bob. Glad to be able to talk. Listen, you know what? You talk about the insane Democrats, but the Republicans just sit back and say nothing. The only one who speaks out about it is Donald J. Trump. And they're all excited because they don't like Donald Trump. It's really not about the country. It's about Donald Trump. Nothing more, nothing less. But I sit at a council meeting and I listen to these people who blatantly, and you know our county's home rule, they changed the division. They added a division to our charter without going through the process of adding it by a referendum question on the ballot. I raised the issue. The division that they wanted to create was called the Infrastructure, Community, and Economic Development Division.
That sounds dangerous to me. That sounds really dangerous to me.
Right, but because I called it the ICE division, the Democrats on council got their panties all in a bunch because we can't have that called the ICE division because look at what ICE is all about in the country. They purposely last night changed the name of that division to a different name because of the connotation that it was related to ICE. How bizarre. And you know what? We have three Republicans who sat on council and said zero. We got 2 no votes from Leanne McDermott and Harry Haas. The one that we have a 3-8 majority, 8 Democrats, 3 Republicans. 1 Republican voted for it, running for state rep, knowing full well that that was a violation. Well, according to the Office of Law, it's not a violation. But listen, the Office of Law, as you know, Bob, will give you any opinion you ask for, depending on who's asking. And so they gave him an opinion that it wasn't a violation of the law, and the person who's running for a state rep voted for it, knowing that it's probably a violation of the law. It's like, this is insane. And nobody says a word on the Republican side. And then they wonder why we have problems in this country, and Democrats get elected all the time. And then we have a councilwoman who made up some story about her brother. It was a true story. Rob O'Donnell brought it up about her brother being detained by ICE and couldn't get the years that happened. It was like 1 year, and then it was 3 years. Now it's 10 years, and it goes on and on and on. And not one Republican on council called her out to make sure that she shows documentation as to the amount of information that she shared at a public meeting to sway an opinion regarding the ICE issue. This is so bizarre. And then we wonder why Democrats get elected. Well, it's because the Republicans do nothing to stop them.
Yeah.
We just sit back and we say nothing, unfortunately.
Well, we're in a scary place. Luzerne County is a great county. It has a conservative bent. And now the Republicans have lost it with a lot of outside money to these left-wing lunatic Democrats that are now on the council and running their county. It's frightening. Walter, thank you, my friend. I appreciate it. All right, my man.
Yep.
Let's go to Mike from Duryea. Mike, how are you?
Good. Well, actually, not really. I'm going for a root canal right now, so I got to take care. You know, I'm going to say something to the young kids of America and the people that are Democrats. When you hear a Democrat speaking, it's called gobbledygook. He's no good. He's not doing it the right way. And then they'll turn around and say, we could do better. But if you have to listen, they have no real solution.
Nothing.
I mean, I could say bad things about somebody all day long. So people out there in La La Land, it's called gobbledygook. Yep. And the days of gobbledygook has to be over, Americans. I mean, it's got to be over. When somebody says he's no good, I want to do it this way.
Yeah.
Not we're gonna try and do something, or we got to pull together. I love when a politician says we all have to pull together. No, I'm paying you to do the job for me. I don't know what's going on, but you're supposed to know the answers.
I'm with you.
But everybody's got to listen to how they speak.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
They lie. I'm telling you, I've not heard a national Democrat speaking on an issue without lying. I haven't heard it. Their entire party is based on lies. Their entire
But they don't
agenda.
even have a solution. Like,
nope.
Okay, let's say immigration. Okay, Trump's doing well, but he should be doing this and say what he should be doing this. Like, we need this, we need that.
Their solution is to open the border again and let these criminals and illegals stay in the country and be a burden. That's their answer. Let's go to Joe from Berwick. Joe, how are you?
Hello, Bob. Speaking of gobbledygook, we had that fool last night with his little sign about the monkeys, right? You know who I'm talking about, that representative.
I didn't see it, thank God, but
okay.
Go ahead.
Well, he held up this sign saying black people are not monkeys, that nonsense. Well, here's the thing about all of this. When Barack Obama was first elected to office, because he claimed to be a Christian, if you remember, and you can look this up, anybody can look this up. He was asked about a question that was kind of making the rounds at the time in schools across the United States about the teaching of evolution versus intelligent design, right? And all intelligent design did was basically pointed out that there are some problems with this idea of evolution, particularly with monkeys to human type thing. Well, every Democrat, including Barack Obama, claimed that this was a matter of science, and they with their legal cohorts in the ACLU made it so that no teaching at all could be taught in any school across America, save for private schools, other than human beings came from monkeys, even though it's been scientifically debunked. So these same people, including Barack Obama, who claimed, Trump
The
is
hypocrite in
racist.
chief. The hypocrite in chief.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep, and they want our children to learn unequivocally that all human beings, including those with dark skin, come from monkeys. That's the only thing they can learn in school. You know what? Yeah, what can you say about these people?
It's disgraceful. Thank you, Joe. Hey, let's go to Andrew from Jersey. Andrew, we only got 30 seconds. Fire away, man.
Excellent speech. Excellent speech. My favorite line by far was when he said, banning insider trading. Did Nancy Pelosi stand up for that?
Yeah. No, I
but
guarantee
it was great.
not. I loved when he, and somebody texted in, the Slick said, he loved when he said, these people are crazy. And they are. Hey, my Bacardo's watch says it's time. 9:55, Bloomberg Money Minute. 1969, Murph says the Beatles, something. That's what I sing that to my cat Ponth every time I feed him. He insists. He insists that I kiss him on the head and that I say chomching. And that's what I do. Hey, my computer wasn't functioning. I guess the outlet I was in here was out of power. It didn't hold power, and I'm hoping I don't have a problem. I don't want to buy another. This iPad's been very good, very loyal to me, this iPad Pro, and I'm hoping I don't need another one. You know? Mark the Shark from Hazleton says, he sends in, it's John Leonard, a critic, 1939 to 2008. He says, and Leonard says, to be capable of embarrassment is the beginning of moral consciousness. Let's see. Again, I messed up this computer, but honor grows from qualms. I like that. The Democrats have no qualms about lying and making fools of themselves. They just don't care. Somebody texts in, I watched the State of the Union address with my wife, who is not big into politics at all. And she was surprised and ashamed by Democrats not standing up for certain points of the speech for perfectly responsible reasons, yet the Democrats wouldn't stand. My wife found it appalling. And I told her, that's the Democrat Party today. Tom from Dallas. Amazing. Cash Patel says, Hater says, $80,000 taxpayer dollars to party with a hockey team. Cash Patel was there looking at their plans and their responses because we're hosting the Olympics. Do you understand that? We're hosting the Olympics in 2028. He wanted to see the security measures that were being undertaken. It was necessary that he be here. Nobody complained when Robert Mueller went over to two different Olympics. I don't get it. I don't get it. You don't give a flip about as much as $18 billion stolen by the Somalian gang in Minnesota. You don't give a flip about the $500 billion we paid to house and feed illegals when Idiot opened up the border. Oh, but $80,000 for the head of the FBI to coordinate security with the last Olympic event that's going to happen before it comes to L.A. and United States of America. You don't have a clue. Wow. And I'll bet you were against Doge, too. Unreal. This is what you get. This is what we have. This level of insanity and outright stupidity. There's nothing else you could call it. Hey, my Picardo Jewelers watch tells me it's 10:02. That means it's time for the news. Past time for the news. Let's do that, and then we'll be back. It's the Bob Cordaro Show. Great good morning, everyone. My Picardo Jewelers watch tells me it's 10:08 and change here in the great Northeast. This beautiful Wednesday, February 25, year of our Lord 2026. This is the Bob Cordaro Show, and I am he. And it's a big day to fight for America, defend our values, and with the help of our man John Basiliga and his great Basiliga Hospitality Group, to honor the brave who have made us and kept us free. People like veterans we've lost this year, but celebrate today thanks to John. So with history, our great founding fathers, and the incomparable Constitution of the United States of America as our guides, let us continue today's battle. Gaveling back to order this meeting of the Club for Common Sense, promising you that our commitment to common sense will provide a sanctuary of sanity for all of you, especially in a world where the Democrat Party has gone loony. That's our job. That's our job. We've been reduced to that. Well, the State of the Union, it was long. It's great. I got to go one when I worked on Capitol Hill back in 1982, Ronald Reagan. And it was actually his first after being shot, his first State of the Union address. And I took copious notes while I was observing it. And there's nothing more electric. Well, our candidate for governor, our state treasurer, Stacey Garrity, was there as well, and she is with us now. Stacey, good to talk to you again. How are you?
Hey, Bob, I'm fantastic. Yes, it was a great State of the Union.
You've been up here quite a bit, and we love that fact because you're the little engine that could.
I am, and I'm going to be actually there on Sunday to help Lisa Baker kick off her campaign.
Neat.
At the IREM Clubhouse, is it? 3 to 5. Mm-hmm. So hopefully anybody listening will come out. She's done such a great job, and she's actually in the Veteran Hall of Fame for all her constituent work for veterans.
Oh, neat. Love that. Well, Stacey Garrity, tell us about the State of the Union. Let's assume I'm standing at the rostrum where the president speaks. Where were you situated?
So I was up in the gallery. If you're facing the president, right to his left, and basically across from Melania.
All right. Well, it's interesting, and people don't appreciate it unless they've been on the floor or in the gallery, how small and intimate the room is, particularly when it's filled.
It really was. I was, of course, the guest of Congressman G.T. Thompson. I also saw Dan Muser there, so we spent some time together. But it was so patriotic. Yeah. And I can't even pick out a favorite moment. I mean, he did so much to celebrate our veterans. I mean, the World War II hero that's 100 years old. The staff sergeant that, almost died and was there with his mother. I mean, from West Virginia.
Yeah.
It was just amazing. And you could just feel the greatness of our nation. And it was so shameful that some Democrats wouldn't even stand up for the hockey team.
They are so embarrassing. And they don't, there's no self-awareness. I mean, well, you're running against the political animal of all time, Josh Shapiro, our current phony governor. And so you're going to have to deal with this kind of insanity and outright lying about policies, about results, about spending. Here's a guy Shapiro wants to spend $6 billion more in his new budget than we did last year, and we were in deficit last year.
I know. So this year, basically, he blows through the entire surplus, so the only thing left is the rainy day fund. And you should never, ever use a rainy day fund to plug a budget hole. The IFO, Independent Fiscal Office, they even came out and said taxes will have to be raised in 2 years. Now, he stood up in his budget address, looked at everybody in the eye and said, we have plenty of money and I've balanced a budget every year. Well, that's not my definition of balancing a budget. And I don't think hardworking families could get away with that either. Just let me borrow some money to plug my budget hole.
Well, I'm happy that you were invited to the State of the Union because you're a real player, not only as a gubernatorial candidate, but as a really outstanding state treasurer. You've done an amazing job, and your popularity in Pennsylvania, it's a sort of quiet popularity, but it's strong, solid support that the other side can't figure out.
Well, what they don't understand is my only ambition is to serve. That's it. And anything I can do to help Pennsylvanians, I do 24/7. And every day that I get to wake up and serve them is truly a blessing to me. And so I will always do what I can. I will always put Pennsylvanians first. And you just don't have that with the governor.
Well, he's putting his presidential wishes and hopes and dreams first, and Pennsylvanians second, which is so obvious.
Yes, I always say he's more interested in Pennsylvania Avenue than helping Pennsylvania families, and I think people can see that.
As you're campaigning, as you're traveling around the state, both as the treasurer and as a candidate, what are people telling you? Are they responsive to this message? Are they starting to get it about this phony Shapiro?
They are, especially, the media is starting to hit him a little bit more on spending taxpayer dollars on his personal residence and, trying to do the land grab with his neighbor. And, the guy hasn't even had an ad run against him, Bob, in like a decade.
Yeah.
And so people aren't aware of, there's plenty of scandals in his office, believe me, and they'll come out. And then I think
the sexual harassment scandals. There's a lot going on.
There is a lot to unpack, and it's kind of unbelievable when you look at it. The amount of corruption in his office, and when I tell people, look, we've been mediocre for so long that people don't even realize it, and they don't understand it doesn't have to be this way. We have so many blessings in this Commonwealth. We have the best, hardest working people. We have world-class industries. We have natural resources that are the envy of the entire world, and we're squandering these blessings. There is no way that under Josh Shapiro's Commonwealth, we should be ranked 38th economically, 39th in education, 41st overall. We should be leading the nation in all metrics, and we can. I just have a totally different vision for what we can be.
Stacey Garrity is our guest. She is the treasurer of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, twice elected. She is a former veteran. She is also, she's a veteran, not a former veteran. She's a veteran of our military serving in Middle East. And she's running for governor, and she's our best hope to save this state and turn things around, just the way you did with the treasurer's office.
Well, Bob, when Josh Shapiro announced that he was running for re-election, he immediately went on MSNBC with Jen Psaki and said he is laser focused on the trifecta, which means that he takes our state Senate, which is why we have to support Lisa Baker. He widens the margin for the state house, keeps the governor's mansion. And if that happens, we will lose our Commonwealth for at least a generation, maybe forever, because they will pass such policies that it'll be tough to get back. And he's also said he's laser focused on flipping the U.S. House, the 4 seats that are vulnerable. And we cannot let him do that, because I think that's how he wants to gain traction, is to deliver Pennsylvania to the Democrats. And we cannot allow that to happen.
How has he gotten away, in your view, how has he gotten away with being a complete left-wing lunatic and having this patina that as though he's a moderate? How is he getting away with it? The media they're just all marching in lockstep with him?
Yeah, so nobody ever covered. He came out at the end of July and said that anybody that doesn't support biological males competing against our girls in sports is an extremist. That didn't get any coverage. I mean, he supports gender-affirming care for trans little kids using our taxpayer dollars. He's for no work requirement. But this is what he does. He is such a slick politician. So if he comes to my county, Bradford County, he'll stand there and pretend he's a moderate. But then if he goes into Philadelphia, he goes far, far left. So he is very good at trying to be all things to all people, basically. But it's so not genuine. And listen, this is what you have to look at. Look what happened in Virginia.
Yeah.
So she campaigned as a moderate. Sound familiar?
Yeah.
And immediately when she got into office, she's pushing legislation that reduces minimum sentences for rape, child pornography, and assaulting police officers. She wants to double their personal income tax and ban ballot counting for no reason, and she ended cooperation with ICE, and it goes on and on and on. And if people don't think that he is, going to use that same playbook, then they're crazy.
It's a scary race without Stacey Garrity winning. You've got to win, and I'm so happy you're working hard for Pennsylvania, not only in your job, but as a candidate for governor to save us from 4 more years of Josh Shapiro. And by the way, he had his time as Attorney General where he was beyond destructive, particularly in COVID. And it's a scary prospect, and I'm so happy you've stepped into the breach.
Well, he was absolutely in lockstep with Joe Biden and Joe Biden's failed policies, and you can see that, how it's reflected in our state now. And like I said, it doesn't have to be this way. We can be leading the nation.
Yeah.
Goodness, yes. So, and I need Pennsylvanians to believe that. I mean, we used to lead. Think about it. We're the birthplace of the nation. We sparked the revolution. We powered the Industrial Revolution. We built the American working class. There is no reason, none, that we shouldn't lead again, and we can, and we will.
I love it. Stacey Garrity, our candidate for governor and our state treasurer, thank you very much, and you are welcome on anytime you'd like.
Thanks, Bob. Have a great day.
All right. Thank you. And she'll be up in Luzerne County on Sunday, and she's hustling for us. Thank God we have her. Stacey Garrity. We'll take a break. Bob Cordaro, WILK. We'll return. This is was my campaign theme song when I ran for U.S. Congress back in 1988. I love it. George Harrison Day today. He was born this date, February 25th, 1943, the Quiet Beetle. Murph put together a great list. Hey, let's go right to the blower. By the way, I got to read this one text. I've come to believe that they can somehow forget the pain and suffering the Democrats caused while in power and act like they let out a bad fart. And once the smell goes away, they act like they've not done a thing. Beyond comprehension, actually pathetic. I love that. Bugzar says, good morning. I watched the whole thing and the rebuttal. Disgraceful rebuttal. It was, wasn't it? It was sickening. The way I sum it up, Trump did a fine job. And that there's the continuation. Bugzar, that they're like the guy that blows the fart and then tries to pretend he didn't after the smell goes away. Yeah, well, the smell went away because Trump was the fan. He was the exhaust fan. Let's go to Mike from Bloomsburg. Hi, Mike.
Hey, Bob. I love that your candidate for governor spoke to Ronald Reagan a little bit there.
Yes.
My belief is, and you've heard this before, history doesn't repeat, but it rhymes. And I believe that Donald Trump, in many respects, was set up to be the second coming of Ronald Reagan. And what I mean by this, if we go back to 1980 and look at the 15 years before that, the people my age and a little bit younger and older, they understand how terrible inflation was in this country and how bad we were. But Reagan took over, and when he took office, the Dow Jones Industrial Average was actually 20 points lower than it was 15 years before he took office.
Yeah.
There was nothing happening. But the worst part of it is, Bob, inflation was so bad that it ate away 65% of that industrial average. So basically, it was 65% lower than it was 15 years ago when Reagan took over. And he knew how much trouble we were in the direction of this country, and he took action, just like Donald Trump took action for the Biden and the Obama years and tried to get this country straightened out. And he has done it in many respects. And they're fighting tooth and nail against recovery, economic recovery. They do not want the Democrats do not want economic recovery. They want as many people to be on government benefits as they can get and make them dependent on the Democrats. And that's how they want to destroy this country. Make no mistake about it. We are in a war right now.
Yep.
And anyone that doesn't believe it, they have their head in the sand.
And they better get it out of the sand and come out and vote for common sense. I'm with you, Mike. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
You're welcome. Take care now.
Hey, let's go to Bill from Pittston. Bill, how are you? Thanks for your patience, man.
Well, it's always a pleasure to talk to you, Bob. I was at Barrett's in Archbold on Saturday. I was talking to Rob Bresnahan.
Oh, you went up to that event? Great.
Yeah, I saw his lovely wife, Chelsea. By the way, I hope you know she listens to you when she's working out. She's a real big fan.
Oh, she's the best. I'm telling you what, to have those two people representing us, Rob and Chelsea, we're beyond honored, and we're just completely blessed. We've got to keep him in office, man.
Oh, absolutely. I'm sure you recall I proposed to him and to Dave McCormick that they make it mandatory in the Commonwealth that you have to teach classes from K to senior high on the Holocaust and anti-Semitism. So Rob's staff members have been working on it, and they found that nobody's ever proposed that before. Then Rob told me, why don't I get in touch with Randy Fine of Florida, who is Jewish and a big advocate for Jewish rights. Mm-hmm. So I called his office. I spoke to one of his staff members, and he was pretty excited about it, and said he thought that the congressman would be interested in it. So I'm waiting for a call back with that.
That's neat.
But the thing is, I mean,
and important. People forget Eisenhower. He took the entire village, and I can't remember which death camp it was. And he made them walk through to see the horror that was right under their noses. And he made them see it. And it's got to be taught. It has to be.
Yeah, and it's inevitable for something to happen again. I mean, it's seething under, with all the situation with Iran and all over in the Middle East. It's a powder keg. It's only a matter of time before some more anti-Semitism, surfaces. And there's so many kids today that do not understand it. Even when I teach CCD, I'll talk to the kids about the Holocaust, and they look at me like I have three heads.
Yeah.
And, you have to teach this. The other thing is it's not only a moral issue, it's also a political issue, because this is going to really tick off Ilhan Omar and Tlaib, because believe me, I thought this stuff through. I'm prepared for any question that they have about preference of Israel over Palestine. But in any event, did you notice when they sat in their seats at the State of the Union how ugly they looked when they spoke? Their ugliness comes out.
Yes.
It's so obvious that they are mean-spirited people. And when they're calling Trump a murderer, all that evil and ugliness made them even uglier, if that's possible. So this confrontation and acknowledgement and knowledge that will set us free from prejudice is going to tick them off and make them look even more evil.
Well, I'm happy you've started that ball rolling. Let's hope it goes all the way. Thank you, Bill. Always a pleasure. Hey, we've got to take a break. Bob Cordaro, WILK. We're going to hear from our great sponsors. We've got a little bit of we've got a little bit of weather to give you. We've got some veterans tribute. And then we've got you, and you could reach us by phone or text, 570-883-0098. Some people holding. I want to get to them. Our Veterans Tribute this hour and every hour, this day and every day, brought to you by our friend, John Basiliga. All of his great companies, but today we feature Basiliga Hospitality as we head towards the weekend. The Old Brook Inn's 307 Springbrook Township. You got to see the place. It's just, and I'm telling you, the finest food, the greatest appetizers, great drinks, and great setting. I love the Old Brook Inn. Then you go to the Far Street Tavern, the reimagined neighborhood institution in the Trips Park section of West Scranton, and you'll say, wow. Same thing, you go to downtown Oliphant, Queen City Tavern. You just go in there, you look up, see the atrium, the second story that they put in there, and say, this ain't your brother's bar. It's a great spot. Fine dining. You want your jaw to drop? If you haven't been into Terra 519, Linden Street, Scranton, stop by. You're going to love it. And by the way, you could go there inexpensively. $10 drinks for happy hour. Have an app. Just enjoy it. I do it all the time. Love it. The Stegmeyer Mansion. Man, that's another place you have to see. A great event space, but an amazing restaurant in the old Mary Stegmeyer Mansion, downtown Wilkes-Barre. The Lord called one of his angels home, Jacob Dildine. He was actively serving, this young man, in the United States Navy, and he passed away unexpectedly, January 21st. He was a member of the Navy station in Port Hueneme Naval Base in California, known for his love for the Lord, as well as his family. Known also for a beautiful smile, sparkling personality, and huge heart. Survived by his father, his mother, his sister and brother, his paternal grandparents, his maternal grandparents. Jacob touched the lives of many and will be forever remembered and kept in our hearts. Jacob Dildine. Joseph Myers, Navy vet. He enjoyed playing the trumpet. Laura Myers announced the passing of her husband, Joe, on February 18th. He graduated from Central Columbia High School, then joined the United States Navy, serving this country from 64 to 68. He enjoyed playing his trumpet for the family in various bands, including the Navy Military Band, most recently the Danville Community Band, and his church, the Shiloh Bible Church. He's survived by his wife, the former Laura Black, who he married in 1970. They had celebrated 54 years of marriage. Brother, 2 sisters, and other family members. Laura says our imaginative storyteller and prankster will be greatly missed. Joseph Myers. Richard Hartman, Berwick native, 20-year Navy veteran. We lost him December 13th last year at age 80 at his home in Virginia. He was born in Berwick, proud Navy veteran serving us 20 years with many tours overseas and on submarines. He was a loving husband and father, loved playing pool with his sons and grandchildren. Survived by his loving wife, Pamela Davis, his sons, Richard and Michael, his grandchildren, and 2 great-grandchildren. Richard Hartman. Our great veterans this hour, brought to you by John Basiliga and Basiliga Hospitality Group. Storm Tracker 16 forecast from meteorologist Joe Snedeker, brought to you by our friends at Montage Mountain. Was with our man Charlie Jefferson last night. They just want to do everything right. They want to make sure you have a great experience skiing or just hanging out at Montage Mountain. It is the place to be for winter and beyond. Big event coming up March 6th, Mountain Fest. Today, snow showers tapering off by mid-morning, then partly sunny, high near 40. We're at 33 degrees outside the studios right now. Tonight, cloudy skies down to 27. Thursday, partly sunny, 36. Friday, partly sunny, 42. When you think, what's the weather? Think Montage. And when you go to Montage, you'll say, what's the weather going to be? Yeah, Montage Mountain Resort. George Harrison. What a great song. 1970 as a solo artist, My Sweet Lord. We're doing all George Harrison today. He was born, Murph tells us, this date, February 25th, 1943. And we lost him too soon. Somebody texted in about this fool, disgrace, Rashida Tlaib, wearing a button that said F ICE, but it said the word. Thank you for telling me that. And I also got a email from my man Tony, and he says, should a father or mother have to explain to a young child what the F ICE button displayed by Rashida Tlaib and others is, what it says? They should be fired, along with those who did not stand when asked if America should be first or immigrants. And the no-shows should be fired too. I'm with you. These people are sickening. They're absolutely sickening. And did you hear this, the little ditty we did? As much as 17% of kids getting abused. And I've been alerted to a story about physical abuse by students that's being ignored by administrators up in the North Pocono School District. I'm going to look into that a little bit. We've got leaders who are disgusting. Mostly Democrats, but not all. We'll point them out without fear or favor, by the way. Let's go to Dave from Scranton. Dave, thank you for holding. How are you?
Hey, Bob. Thanks for taking my call. Happy belated birthday.
Thank you.
You know, I just wanted to call in quickly, and if I can make a couple comments after, because I want to make sure I get this out. Stacey Garrity was on there. She's an excellent candidate, and she's definitely going to be our next governor. And as long as people turn out to vote, and that's what's most important. I just want to remind people that it is the petition process currently, meaning we're just trying to get on the ballot. So we need people to come out and sign these documents. That way we do have candidates in every race. And this evening, Rob Bresnahan is actually having an event. It's at Alfredo's Pizza, 1040 South Washington. It's from 6 to 8 p.m. And hopefully people can get down there, sign this petition. There's going to be other candidates there. I'll be there as well.
When is that? When is that, Dave?
That's tonight at 6
tonight.
8 p.m.
Okay.
Yeah, at Alfredo's Pizza. Mark Payne has tons of petitions at his office down there on 200 Larch Street. If people want to sign petitions, you can go there. He'll have Garrity's and Rob's and myself. Again, I'm running for state rep in the 114th. But, you know, I don't want to address that sound clip and the point you just brought up about the 17% because we don't have that kind of time. It's not the point of my call. But that is just horrible, Bob, and there's no other way to express it. But I do want to address what you said about the F-ICE because, you know, what happened up there in New York? Now, all of a sudden, snowball fights are the new peaceful protest. You know, the lack of respect and the attacks on our law enforcement not only is horrible and shows the degradation of society and the lack of people even caring about authority and what truly we represent here in this country, civility and law and order, but more importantly, we're not going to have law enforcement officers. We're not going to have these people to stand up for us. And if that becomes the case, we're going to become a lawless society, and it seems like that's where we're heading. You know, and you had that one text you read about the flatulence, you know, and it reminds me, you said you liked that song, Did You Have to Let It Linger? Mm-hmm. And, you know, that should be the song for the Democratic Party. And by Democratic Party, I mean the leftists. Obviously, we have wonderful Democrats, especially in this area, and they're going to have to turn out for our party if they want to turn this country around as well. But
they're going to have to vote against the Democrat Party and Democrat candidates in order to save this country and this area. I hope they do. But the other problem is Republicans not coming out and Republican voters not coming out.
Yeah, it's been pointed out to me several times. I can't win my race without Democratic votes. And I understand that, and that's fine with me because I want to work with both parties. And I think we all share common values. We come from the same area. So it's ridiculous to act like we're not, you know, together in this. And as far as letting it linger, we're dealing with the effects of the Biden administration and what he has done for the past 4 years. And that's where the real stink is. And for them to continue to stink up the room is just disingenuous. You know, it's time that people just be honest, forget about party politics, and look what's best for this country. We have the opportunity to retain the House and the Senate on the national level. And here in Pennsylvania, we have the opportunity very easily to take back the House and to extend our lead in the Senate.
Yes.
And that's what people need to be focused on right now. We'll get these policies out here, and if we don't do what we say we're going to do, then they could go right back to voting for the failure of this nation, because I understand the frustration at that point.
Well, I'm
But
happy.
give us a
I'm
real
happy you're running,
opportunity,
Dave
Bob.
Bergeroff. I'm happy you're running, my friend. Thank you.
Well, I appreciate you giving me the time, Bob. Have a great day.
All right, brother. Hey, we got to take a break. Bob Cordaro, WILK. We will return. Oh, man, I love Harrison. Murph celebrating George Harrison's birthday, February 25th, 1943, Liverpool, Merseyside, England. What is life? Another one of my favorite songs. My gosh, what greatness. What greatness. And Muhammad Ali, then known as Cassius Clay. You know, and he's one of those guys that you hate at first. It's like Trump. And over time, you get, you start to, at least most of us that don't have TDS, you start to get the joke. And then you're like, okay, I get the joke. And he's a lot of fun. And that was Ali to me. And I loved him by the time he had passed away. But, and I love hearing that. He was insane. But it was fun. It was fun. Somebody said the Democrat response was like an SNL skit gone bad. I know. Oh, God almighty. Unbelievable. The Democrats have absolutely no solutions. All they do is complain and bitch about Trump. Omar is a disgrace. Somebody else saying, yeah, how did they let this fool in there with the F-ICE button on? She should have got her face slapped, actually. Somebody said, are your Dem radio trolls defending their disgusting congressional reps today? No, they're not. And another one, I didn't know what they were talking about. Snowball fight, the new peaceful protest. An excuse to attack our law enforcement officer. Yeah. Somebody texted in on that. It's ridiculous. Somebody says Ali was a loudmouth. I always rooted for Frazier. I've rooted for Frazier against Ali, but I started to appreciate and enjoy Ali once you get the joke. Somebody said, Bob, I saw that button, was shocked that the representative was allowed into the chambers with that. She was horrible. What have we become? Unbelievable. Yeah, Rashida Tlaib. Disgrace. Sickening. Sickening. Subhuman. Kim says, Bob LTS, what an embarrassment to be a Democrat, proud to be a Republican. I'm not proud to be a Republican, by the way. I'm proud to be a conservative. But, yeah, insane. Yes, somebody pointing out on this snowball thing. Your previous caller is correct. The veil of compassion is falling off and exposing the ugliness. Just look at the mayor of New York. After watching his officers get assaulted and pelted by ice and snow, he laughs it off as a snowball fight with absolutely no regard for the officers of the city who are sworn to protect the citizens and him. Oh, these people are disgusting. Don't be fooled on that. Let's go to Fred from West Pittston. Hey, Fred.
How you doing, Bob?
Great.
You know, Fetterman was on in the morning. I don't know if you see that, and he said, "Did you stand or did you sit for that question Trump asked you about the immigrants and the American people?" He sat. He didn't stand, Bob.
Why? He is the best
Full
of the worst.
He's not. He cares about his paycheck.
Yeah, he's not good. He's the best of the worst, which, you know.
But I think he's a phony baloney. I think you said that a long time ago.
Yep. Oh, no, I'd never support him.
He doesn't care about anything but about getting reelected and his paycheck and his wife so she can support her. And, you know, Bob, that was 80% last night. It was, you know, for the gold medalists, for the people that served our country, for all these people that got shot. That's what took so much time. And it was very interesting
and I think a lot of people watched it.
Yeah, I didn't tire
And
from it, and I usually
No.
like, oh, okay, Donald, stop, finish. But
Exactly,
no,
Bob. It was
it
meaningful.
kept my interest.
It was
did.
meaningful. It was,
Yep.
I mean, it was patriotic. It was everything, political somewhat. You know what I mean? But it has to be.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, Bob, about the food and your prices. If you shop, and I shop a lot, and I know what to shop for. I know where to get it, and it's not as bad as people say it is, Bob.
Well, because they're being told by the media it's bad.
Right.
and they're forgetting
Exactly
who caused it in
Bob.
the first place.
Bob, if this say we didn't have COVID, right, and we went into this, and we came right now, and Joe Biden was in, okay, the prices go up regardless, no matter if it was 70 to 75, 80, 84, whatever. Things go up. I could see that. But Joe Biden caused the headaches.
Yep.
You know it, and everybody knows, and the Democrats know they destroyed our economy.
The sad, and they lie to our faces, and some people apparently like to be lied to. I don't get it at all. Fred, thank you, my man. Calling from West Piston. We've got to take the break because my Ricardo Jewelers watch tells me it's 11:01 and change, which means we're late for the news. But what else is new? Let's do the news. We'll come back. It's the Bob Cordaro Show. You know it does, baby, and we're fighting it every day. Great good morning, everyone. My Cordaro Jewelers watch tells me it's 11:08 a.m. in the great Northeast. This beautiful Wednesday, February 25th, 2026. This is the Bob Cordaro Show, and I am he. And it's a big day to fight for America, defend our values. And with the help of our man, John Basiliga, and his great Basiliga Hospitality Group, to honor the brave who have made us and kept us free. So with history, our founding fathers, and the incomparable Constitution of the United States of America as our guides, let us continue today's battle. Gaveling back to order this meeting of the Club for Common Sense, promising you that our commitment to common sense will provide a sanctuary of sanity for all who listen. If you only hear it, it may not provide that sanctuary. So please listen. And I want you to listen to this. Trump says that it's time to take care of American citizens over illegal aliens. And the Democrats sit and they don't clap. If that doesn't say everything about the deep rot and sickness in today's Democrat Party, nothing does. You combine that with the F-ICE pin that the jackass wore into the chambers on national TV, and you say these are sick, these are mentally ill people. They're not just wrong, they're mentally ill. And sadly, so are many of their followers. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Hey, Mother Teresa for February 25th. And how appropriate after we played My Sweet Lord by George Harrison. She says, "Sweetest Lord, make me appreciative of the dignity of my call and its many responsibilities. Never permit me to disgrace it by giving way to coldness, unkindness, or impatience." Now, I'm not, Mary sends it by text, and I'm using I have to use my iPad Pro, which I somehow is charging up now. I found an outlet that works in the studio here. But I can't get it. My phone's not working. Like when I see somebody sent me a message, but I can't get their text. So anyway. Mr. Paul says Fetterman was very reasonable in an interview on Fox this morning. Said he clapped for all the honors and all of the policies he agreed with. He criticized the Dems. Said he didn't care what they did. He believes in respect. Again, when John Fetterman is the voice of reason for your party, and the only voice of reason in your party, it points out the sickness and the rot. Unbelievable. Trump honored the hockey team in the White House. They enjoyed being in the Oval Office. He shook every one of their hands. They enjoyed it. They loved it. They were at the State of the Union last night, and the Democrats didn't cheer for them either. It's insane. It's really insane. Let's go to Jim from Hazleton. Jim, thank you for your patience. How are you, man?
Good. How are you doing today?
Great.
So first off, I want to say I called yesterday, but it was too late to wish you a happy birthday.
Thank you.
So we'll start with that. Second, I got too many things, but we'll go quick. The texter earlier that said about the $80,000 for the cash patel. How stupid are you? How much millions of dollars did we
they
pay?
Don't care. It's
for
just
Joe Biden to go on vacation every week in Delaware.
These left-wing lunatics are running around going, aha, $80,000 for Cash Patel to go to the Olympics. What? Yeah.
Right. How many millions of tax dollars did Joe Biden spend to vacation in Delaware every other day? Yep. That had to take his whole entourage, the Secret Service, back and forth to Delaware every
medical
weekend.
bills for the Secret Service agents and staff that his dogs bit was more than $80,000. They didn't care about that.
I forgot about that. Old Commander.
Well, two different dogs trained to be vicious, and this scumbag that just proves he's a scumbag.
So then I'll go to what I originally called about,
Okay.
and so I won't get you in trouble. But other shows on the network were talking yesterday, the beginning of towards the end of the show, when I didn't get a chance to call you, but they were stating about Donald Trump's his acuity. They got questions about his acuity,
Oh, God
and they only realized that Joe Biden was bad after the debate. That they called for Joe Biden to resign after the debate. That's just that. I don't even know anymore.
Jim,
the Kool-Aid drinking.
They are insane. Don't worry about it. It's actually the case. Don't worry about it.
And then today was how great a speech that Spanberger gave.
It was
she's so great that she's talking about affordability, yet they want to raise taxes on leaf blowers and
she
just
voted
about everything.
She voted in Congress for every asinine thing and supported every asinine thing that caused the affordability crisis in the first place. They've got zero self-awareness. Thank you, Jim. Let's go to Donald in Pittston. Hey, Donald.
Oh, I wanted to say happy birthday.
Thank you,
I
man.
hope you live to be 500. I'm your pallbearer.
Good line. Good line.
Okay, now listen. You're officially the Ronald Reagan of Northeast PA. You know why? Ronald Reagan once said, Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall. Bob Cordaro says, Green Ridge Neighborhood Association, tear down this Biden banner. I want to get really called. The midterms. These are easy to win, Bob. You're right on message. Don't curse. Be professional. I was in medical transportation, so I had a lot of people got hurt. I had to sit in a lot of courtrooms. We won so many cases with the best lawyers in the state. Personal injury, other side to jump up, curse, and yell at the judge. Let them act like animals. Tell Rob Reghan, be a perfect gentleman. No, curse. You can point out faults. Just be a perfect gentleman, and you will win this thing. Let them act like a bunch of crazies that they are, cursing, yelling, hollering, profanities, raising like signs and everything. And believe me, the American people, nobody wants to be around them type of people, restaurants or anything. A guy yelling, cursing, belligerent, anybody. You know that.
Yeah.
So if we could, there's a way to do it. You do it like with the Biden banner. You don't say nothing bad. You just point out different things. It's not really about disparagement. You just point out the faults of the administration, like the open borders and the craziness with the transgender. But that's the key. That's the only way you're going to beat these people. You have to. We know they're crazy. We know they're insane. The way they act.
Yes.
With the profanities and signs, and let them act like a bunch of jerks and maniacs, and that's how we'll beat them. We'll beat them professionally, ladies and gentlemen. Because the American people, when those midterms come up, that's what they really want. They want sanity, and they want professionalism. They want their kids to grow up to be good, not like a bunch of hoodlums and stuff. I hope you agree with me on that.
I do. I'm with you. always, and we're happy to
All
have
right,
you.
so
We're happy to have you on
that's all
our
I can
side,
say.
brother.
Because they're only going to lie. They're only going to lie.
Yes, they are.
Every day they lie about everything.
Amen.
That was a disgrace. Can you imagine standing? I couldn't believe it. You stand up to the American people or the illegal aliens. They sat down. They don't even. You think they stand up for their constituents. They're all for the illegals over their own constituents.
Unreal.
There's something mentally wrong there. There's just something wrong with this party.
Really?
They're not even in the realm of reality.
No.
Like Biden, like walking around in the twilight zone. It's sad. It really is.
I know it.
Because Biden started all this problems with the Green Deal and the inflation and everything. He's handed it to him. And they never said one word about affordability, Bob. You know that when all the prices were skyrocketing and the gasoline. So they're hypocrites. So that's my message. Just keep our line of professionalism, and we got to win these midterms. Got to.
Have to. The country's at stake. Donald, thank you, my man. Let's take a break. Bob Cordaro, WILK. We will return. 1973, as Murph continues to celebrate the birthday of George Harrison, born this date, 1943, Liverpool, Merseyside, England. Give me love, give me peace on earth, 1973. Bob Cordaro back with you on WILK. We're going to get tomorrow, with all this hockey craze, we've got a great local club. And we're going to talk about this tomorrow. Ray Giroux is going to come on. They house the players. Remember, did you hear the stuff about how the hockey players, have to go away and leave their families and train and all this? Well, we've got such a training facility and housing right next to the station here. My cousin Jody Cordaro in the middle of it and making it happen. And Ray Giroux is going to be on to talk about it tomorrow. It's just great stuff. It'll be fun to follow up with it. Chuck from Carbondale says, Bob, Trump said it directly to the Democrats. He pointed to them and said they caused the mess in America. And they have. And they have. One of the trolls says, taking care of Americans how? He's got no new health care plan. He's fired more Americans than any president. Yeah, government workers who were not necessary. But let me ask you this question. 300,000 government workers were fired. Has this affected your life in any way? Please let me know if it has. Enriching, the listener continues, enriching the top 10% or the top percent with tax cuts and making us pawns pay more for goods. What are you talking about? You know what inflation is, liar. And you know who caused it, liar. Ridiculous. You know Biden caused the inflation crisis. He caused the affordability crisis. Democrat policies have done that. And by the way, I got a tax cut, and I ain't in the top percent. You're a liar. You're a phony. I love you because you listen, but you're a liar and a phony. Somebody texts in, why didn't the networks blur out the F-ICE button? I hope they get fined by the FCC. I agree. Let them do that. Showing that ass. She shouldn't have been shown at all. Cabinet guy says, I tell my stepdaughters that they're in their mid-20s that the F word is not becoming of a woman. It does not impress people. Well, the Democrats think it makes them tough. By the way, talking about the, I mentioned how Eisenhower took the citizens of the town through that concentration camp. Somebody said, ALTS, it was a sub-camp of the concentration camp Buchenwald. And then continues, if I remember correctly, the mayor and his wife, after going through it, went home and committed suicide after viewing the camp. Yeah, Buchenwald. Somebody says, Bob, if I throw a lightly packed snowball and hit the mayor of New York in the head, at a minimum, I would be arrested, charged with assault, fingerprinted and photographed, and released if I could post bail. Don't worry about that no cash bail thing. Do it to a group of New York City cops, and the mayor calls it good-natured snowball fight with local youth. I'm saying he's a scumbag. You can't, no more playing gentle with these fools, which is what they are. And so are their supporters and followers. All right. Hit it, Bulldog. We brought back, by popular demand, Luciano's theme song, Ice Ice Baby. How are you, Luciano? Thank you for your patience.
I'm going to get biblical with you, brother. I'm a hardcore evangelical Catholic, and I'm praying for this country. It brings tears to my eyes when you have. I'm not going to use craziness because I lived on the streets for many, many years, and if it wasn't for my father and mother and the Lord Jesus, I know you don't get. You're the only talk show host. I'm going to say it that does not get offended by that word, and I'm glad. And I'm just saying this. Let's use biblical words: evil, wicked, disgusting, demonic. The Democratic Party is demonically controlled. Yeah. They're bankrupt out of all
their leadership and their ideological leaders are evil.
They're morally bankrupt. They are disgusting. That little beautiful little angel that was now mentally, her brain cells are damaged. That beautiful, cute I could care less if she was Latina. I don't care if she's Mexican. I hate any illegals that enter this. I'm for American. I'm getting emotional, brother. I am in favor for American citizens of whatever other race, color, creed, or lifestyle. I'm 100% deport all these illegals for the past 7 years. Deport them, Bob, and pray for Donald Trump. One last thing. Name me one president that has done this. One president that has never taken a salary from a high-paying presidential job, and two, that he's been attempted assassination over 3 times. Name me one. Abraham Lincoln was one. That was assassin. Donald Trump has had 3 assassination attempts on him, and I'll repeat, he has never taken a paycheck. George Washington, the Democrat, the only 2 presidents. Listen out here, Donald Trump and George Washington are the only 2 historically recorded presidents that has never taken a paycheck in their lives. And God bless America, and God bless you, brother. Thank you.
Love it. Thank you, my man.
Thank you.
Appreciate it always.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Got to play the theme song on the way out, too. That's our man, Luciano. We're going to take a break because we want to hear from our great sponsors. We want to pay for the show, too. And then we've got a veterans tribute. We've got the weather. And then we're going to go to Mike from Forest City. And maybe you, if you call or text at 570-883-0098. This is the Bob Cordaro Show. Our Veterans Tribute this hour and every hour, this day and every day, brought to you our man, John Basiliga. Today we feature one of his great companies, Basiliga Hospitality. That includes the Scranton Art House, the place to check out a movie. It's actually a great little bar to sit and eat in the lobby. And they'll serve you at your seats. Scranton Art House, the movie house, voted the best in Northeast PA. Fine dining, I'll be checking one of these out this weekend. A Terra 519, downtown Scranton. The Stegmeyer Mansion, downtown Wilkes-Barre. You're not going to get nicer restaurants anywhere on the planet. I mean it. 3-bar restaurants, top shelf. Old Brook Inn, 307 Springbrook Township. Far Street Tavern. The reimagined neighborhood institution on the Trips Park section of West Scranton. And Queen City Tavern, downtown Oliphant. Check them out, guys. John Jack Blosky. He was a Marine and a special education teacher. Those are two amazing callings. We lost him at age 89 on January 25th. He was from Telford. He was the beloved husband of Nancy Blosky, born in Danville. He proudly served in the United States Marine Corps 1954 to 1957. Graduate of Bloomsburg's College, class of 61. He worked as a special education teacher for the Penn Ridge School District in Central Bucks West. In addition, he was the owner and operator of a painting and wallpapering company. He loved gardening, fishing, hunting. In addition to his wife, Nancy, survived by his son, Jack, 3 daughters, Rhonda, Betty, and Paula, 2 sisters, 12 grandchildren, and 5 great-grandchildren. Jack Blosky. Ole Bowman. He was from Berwick. We lost him at age 91, January 28th. He was an Air Force veteran who retired from PPL. He was born at home in Benton, 1934. He spent his early life in Fishing Creek Township, Columbia County. He went to Benton area schools before he joined the United States Air Force, serving all of us. He retired after 25 years in the Air Force as a master sergeant. He also retired from PPL in security after that service. Survived by his wife, Jeanette Bowman, 3 children, 6 grandchildren, 5 great-grandchildren, a brother, 3 sisters. He was preceded in death by 8 siblings as well. Ole Bowman. Now here he is, 100-year-old. We just lost him February 18th. John J. Zimmerman, a family man who enjoyed restoring antique vehicles. He was from rural Orangeville, Fishing Creek Township as well. This centenarian vet and his wife died just 4 days apart. Born in Huntington Township, Luzerne County, preceded in death by his beloved wife of 78 years on February 14th. He was educated in a 1-room schoolhouse at Sunshine, Jonestown, Fishing Creek, and then attended Benton High School. The things this man saw. He honorably served this country in the U.S. Army during World War II as a technician, 5th grade. He was with Headquarters Battery, 721st Field Artillery, 66th Division. Among others, he served in the battles and campaigns in northern France. He was awarded the World War II Victory Medal, the EAME Campaign Medal, and more. Jay was a machinist by trade and was employed by the McGee Carpet Company in Bloomsburg, later for PennDOT and then Bloomsburg Carpet Company, retiring in 1990. He also attended Penn State's Hazleton campus and obtained his real estate license, working for Safe Buy. He was a member of the Stillwater Christian Church and the Jonestown United Methodist Church, where he served as Sunday school superintendent and as a trustee. Past master of the Oriental Lodge, F&AM of Orangeville, served on the board of the Antique Car Club of Berwick. Jay was also a member of the local barber shoppers for 10 years, a singer. He bowled for McGee Carpet, collected old hit-and-miss gas engines, whatever they are, restored antique cars and motorcycles. Amazingly surviving this 100-year-old man, this great veteran, 2 daughters, 5 grandchildren, 11 great-grandchildren. Jay Zimmerman, our great veterans this hour, brought to you by John Basiliga and Basiliga Hospitality. Inspiring. The Storm Tracker 16 forecast from meteorologist Joe Snedeker, brought to you by our great friends at Montage Mountain, the place for winter fun. I don't care if you like hanging out. You want to hang out indoors like I'd like to do. They got an amazing lodge, great bar, great food, a Wagyu burger, top shelf. And then outside, they've got these great tents with fire pits. Awesome. Music going. There's always something happening. If you ski or snowboard, you got that too, baby. Montage Mountain Resort. Hey, Snedeker tells us today snow showers tapering off by mid-morning, so I'm guessing they already did. Then partly sunny, high near 40. It's 35 as I speak. Tonight, cloudy skies, low 27. Thursday, partly sunny, 36. Friday, partly sunny, 42 degrees. That's your weather, brought to you by our great friends at Montage Mountain Resorts. All those years ago, a tribute to John Lennon by birthday boy George Harrison. Murph says he was born February 25th, 1943. That was 1981, the tribute to John Lennon. Bob Cordaro with you. Hey, my man Mark Payne, we had Dave Bergeroff told us about it earlier in the program, but there's a petition signing tonight for our guy, Rob Bresnahan, and other Republican candidates at Alfredo's Pizza, 6 to 8 p.m. They've always got good food at these things. You got to go. Alfredo's is great. But yeah, petition signing. Rob will be there. And I think Mark Payne will be there. That's a guy you want to meet too. Hey, let's go to the phone. Mike from Forest City. How are you, Mike?
Hey, Bob. It's really nice to speak to you again.
Yeah, good to have you, man.
Say first of all, yeah. Hey, I got to just first say God bless all of our veterans. I really like hearing your veteran tribute, and God bless every one of them, especially those that are serving today. It's a very dangerous world.
Oh. So, we played, Mike, I don't know if you heard it, but in our history, 1991 this day, 28 Americans killed. That Persian Gulf War was not bloodless for our troops. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. It's sad, but that's the world we live in.
Yes, yes.
And God bless Luciano for his statements that he was making on your previous caller before the break there.
We
he's
love
great.
him. We love him.
I just want to straighten something out. I'm Mike from Forest City, but Bob, I grew up in Ararat. And people say, well, Mike, where's Ararat? I say, it's out by Burnwood.
I know where Ararat is. Love
anyway,
that. Love that.
Yeah. Oh, and pretty soon I'm going to know what the meaning of 6 and 7 is. I'm going to be 67.
There you go. There you go. Well, we're not getting any younger, but that's okay.
Yeah, that's for sure. Hey, I was calling because I was listening to the Channel 16 news. It was on, I think, at 4 o'clock, and they were doing like some sort of business report, And they had this guy, and it caught my attention. I couldn't believe my ears. He says, well, everything's so expensive now because of Trump. But I remember getting a bunch of onions for 25 cents. I'm thinking, 25 cents? And I Googled it, and that was back in the 50s. That was probably back when Bugs Bunny.
Well, they want to ignore the Biden years. They wanted to ignore that disgrace, except if you're the Greenridge Neighborhood Association. They want to remember Biden like he's great.
Yeah, Biden. Bite me, Biden, they call him.
Yeah.
Anyway. Bugs Bunny had a little song that probably this guy could have sang too. It was something like this. Oh, carrots are divine. You get a dozen for a dime. It's magic.
Mike, you came with a whole floor show today.
Yeah, how do you go and talk about buying onions that were 75 years ago and then say, well, it's Trump's fault that everything costs so much? Crazy.
And Channel 16 likes the bias, I think. They're certainly the head of the news over there. Yeah.
I think they got rid of all their conservative reporters and news anchors, So
well, I don't blame them. It's the people who run the news that are the problem at 16. Yeah.
Well, that's it. But then I see like Charlotte McBride is on this Newsmax in the morning, and so that's a fairly conservative. It's like right next to Fox on my TV channel. So.
Well, remember what 16 did to Chelsea Bresnahan? They said, well, we'll sign a contract with you if your husband leaves the Congress. Like insane.
Yeah, ridiculous. I know. And then these people that State of the Union speech was so great and wonderful, and these Democrats can't stand for a little girl who got seriously damaged by an illegal alien driving a truck.
Yep.
They're like Luciano said, they're kind of, I think they're influenced by demonic things. I mean, and then I heard another guy while I was coming to work out at the Planet Fitness here in Peckville, and he was saying how Obamas, they believed in evolution, And I was just telling my wife about that this morning. That what are they complaining about? I mean, that's what they believe, isn't it? But not them. They're obviously far superior.
Yeah, well, they're far superior to us. We mere mortals. Yes.
Maybe, but still. So,
Mike, always a pleasure. Thank you, my friend.
Thank you. God bless.
All right, man. Again, petition signing tonight. Alfredo's Pizza. Rob Bresnahan will be there and more. Make sure you're there or be square. We'll be back. It's the Bob Cordaro Show. Got my mind set on you. Murph says that was from 1987, celebrating the birthday of George Harrison, this date 1943. Biden banner disgrace, day 72 in the Greenridge section of Scranton. The Greenridge Neighborhood Association has erected a stolen valor banner of Joe Biden as a hometown hero, and he was never in the military. And that's what the hometown hero banners are for. Those who served us, not themselves. Take it down. Put any kind of banner you want if you want to associate with that crumb bum, that disgrace, that destructive force. But don't debase our veterans, Greenridge Neighborhood Association. Get it down. Biden banner disgrace, day 72. So just following up on this, I got to tell you, you elect a communist, you elect a fool, a know-nothing fool who's never done anything, comes from privilege, despite being a state rep in New York. He lived in rent-controlled housing, phony top to bottom. Mamdani. 2 officers had to be hospitalized for injuries from snowballs, ice balls, and rocks thrown at them, and Mamdani laughed it off. The people who threw those rocks should have their legs broken. That's the appropriate response. Disgusting. Hey, we're going to finish with George Harrison when he was with the Traveling Wilburys, 1988, Handle with Care. It was mostly written by Harrison with help from Jeff Lynne, Bob Dylan, Tom Petty, and Roy Orbison. And that's what we'll finish the program with this hour. And thanks to Tina Morocco, Global Sales Advisor at Sotheby's International in Naples, your gateway to Florida, focusing on Southwest Florida. We love her. Somebody tells me the song My Sweet Lord is not about Jesus. It's about Hare Krishna. I know he does the Krishna part at the end. I thought it was to include other religions, and I know he had his Krishna days in India. But I'll have to look that up, David. Thank you for pointing it out, though. He says, I would never play it for that reason. Well, you're going to have Murph get on that. We'll find out. But thank you for letting us know. Joe from Trips Park, are people still buying the billionaire tax cut? Bullspit? 40 years they haven't caught on last night? Haven't caught on yet to the lies? Bob, last night at the State of the Union, there was a victim with their parents on how transgender authorities at the school changed their child's gender without their parents' consent. And the Democrats in the chamber viewed it as normal. How do they get elected? I agree. Somebody says, my man Luciano, ice baby. Somebody says, Bob, now might be an appropriate time to play Liar by Three Dog Night. Just a suggestion, Bob from Warrior Run. I didn't see this in time, but thank you, Bob. Unbelievable. Good morning, Bob. Butch from Mountaintop. The fact that the morning show called the State of the Union political theater and then proceeded to applaud Al Green's actions Did they really? Oh, my God. Al Green is a total jackass. He's going to lose for Congress. ALTS back at you. Somebody said old hit and miss motors are what used to run this country. Thank you. I don't know what it means, though. Yeah, somebody pointing out that it's about Krishna, not Lord. I thought it was about both, but I'm going to check with Murph. Slick says, Bob, I wonder what would have happened if they started throwing the snowballs at the mayor. I know it. Let's see if he laughs that off. Hey, Bob, I'm pissed off about that banner, the Biden banner. I hope that my old job with the carpenter union is not completely behind. I know they do some crappy stuff. I don't like what's going on, and I'm concerned anymore. I'm 57 and retired, and they do some questionable things. Our trade unions have been good. They get it. The job is who you represent, not some sick, twisted ideology. But anyway, I'm out of time. I got to go. Sue Henry show next. Rob O'Donnell show after that. But for now, I've got to say adios and gavel to a close this meeting of the Club for Common Sense and tell you, God willing, I'll be back here tomorrow to do it all again because this fight never ends. Guys, have a great one. We are adjourned.